one of your MCs tonight.
And I'm Olivia Pauline. I go to Mercer Island High School. Becca and I have a lot in common. I also play the flute, and this is my first year with SMP as a volunteer. I'm lucky enough to be Becca's one-on-one tutor, and we've had a lot of fun this past year. And we're really excited to host this evening's program.
We are here to celebrate the hard work and success of all the SMP musicians.
Tonight you'll hear from our beginners, our advanced ensembles, and words from our student and volunteer speakers.
I have really been looking forward to this concert because we put so much work into it. I've especially put a lot of work into the advanced band piece, Expressions of Blue. There are some parts I really had to practice a lot, but I feel like I have them down now.
I know you've got it. Let's start off with a round of applause for these student musicians and all the great music to come. First off tonight, we're going to hear from Seattle Music Partners Executive Director, Scott Galvant, who's going to talk about what makes up SMP.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. We have a great evening lined up. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our lead sponsor, Vulcan Inc., for their financial assistance, and I'd also like to thank Town Hall Seattle for opening their doors to us tonight. This is our first time. It's wonderful to see so many families and volunteers here tonight. Wonderful, too, to meet all of you who are here for your first SMP concert. I'm sure it is an evening that you will remember. Before we get into the music, I thought I'd provide a quick snapshot of SMP. At Seattle Music Partners, we believe that music is a powerful tool for inspiring and empowering young people. We also believe that music learning opportunities should be available to all children on an equitable basis, regardless of economic status, race, or the schools they happen to attend. But having beliefs, no matter how closely held, are not enough without action. And so, because music learning opportunities often are limited or inaccessible, SMP provides a free after-school music program for students who attend low-income schools in the Central District. Participating students receive twice-weekly instruction. And in an effort to remove economic barriers, SMP provides instruments, music stands, music books, and even transportation home without charge. This is a fantastic program, and I am proud to be part of it. SMP is changing lives, and I really believe that that's true. Hundreds of young people are finding their voice, learning to play an instrument, belonging, building confidence, and learning life skills that will serve them well in any context. It was just a few short months ago that the students you see tonight on stage opened an instrument case, many of them for the first time. So imagine those early days, back in October, when they were learning to put their instruments together, wrestling, in a good way I hope, with which pieces go where, what to do with a reed, and what rosin was all about. Imagine those first notes, and imagine how much practice it took to be able to get a clear tone and to play a scale. And think about learning a whole new language, how to read music. What the heck is an eighth note? Where do you find the time signature in a piece of, and what does it mean? And what's a crescendo? Tonight, as you listen to our students, your children, think about the distance they've covered. And, thanks to our volunteers, the enthusiasm and engagement they've sustained. Our students have become capable musicians, courageous performers, and confident members of a music-making community. They've learned how to break down new concepts into understandable chunks, to set goals, and to keep at it, and until they've mastered these new concepts. And tonight, they're taking all their hard work and effort to the big stage. Tonight is about dedication and celebration, so let's be sure to provide lots of loud applause for our performers. They deserve it. Tonight is not a fundraiser, but if what you hear moves you, if the joy you see delights you, if the work we do seems vital to you, there are donation envelopes available at the front table on your way out this evening, and we'd love your support. But enough for me. You're here tonight to listen to these wonderful young people perform, and so I hope you enjoy the concert. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Mr. Scott. We're now going to hand it over to Ms. Sally Baldwin, SMP's Education Director, and she's going to talk to you about what's up next.
We'll also hear from MSMP student Rachel Bryant, who will share her experience as a participant in SMP's latest project. And a quick note about the program, Camille Robinson was listed as a violin player, but she was actually a viola player.
Hello, so I am Sally Baldwin, and I'm the Education Director. Thank you. I'm also the conductor for this evening. So the first piece of music that we're going to play will be familiar to most, I believe, and it is called Rhapsody in Blue. It is a very quiet beginning, so it would be appreciative if you could turn your cell phones to silent at this time. Our students, which you'll find out who these special students are that are in the maroon shirts, are our special sixth graders, and we have started a middle school project, and this is the culmination of about 6 months worth of music making, and they're playing really strong and standard repertoire. So please enjoy our first song, Rhapsody in Blue.
ensemble that you see playing right now is the middle school music project, or MSMP. I think of MSMP as a continuation of SMP for sixth graders, and we meet one night a week to play together. I love music. If I didn't have it, a part of me would be missing. But what really makes me want to keep playing music is when it's fun. I like going to MSMP every week because it's so different from music classes at school. I really like music in school, but it's 95% work and there's not much time to make friends. When I am at MSMP, I feel like I can be myself. MSMP gives us the time to joke around and talk and play complicated music that we're really proud of. We have fun while we're doing hard work, and we are role models for younger SMP students. If you like SMP and you like music, you should join MSMP. No matter what middle school you go to, you can join. And next year it will be a program for sixth graders and seventh graders. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you.
The next song that they're going to play for you is another standard repertoire, and it is Russian Sailor's Dance. So please enjoy. Oh, I forgot to mention, if Rachel did, but she just played the solo that was in the Rhapsody of Blue. And in addition, only because we only have one cello, Mariah's plays solos all the time. The next song is called Russian Sailor's Dance, and it is our last for MSM Please. Please enjoy. So the one thing that I wanted to state, if you didn't notice, we before, while we're changing some students, is that that was a full orchestra at 6th grade, which is very unusual. We combine the strings and the wind instruments. So it makes it challenging because they learn pitches and beginners in 2 different keys, 2 different ways of learning, and it was really exciting to be able to put them in a full orchestra piece, and they were able to play both of those as combined, so that's really cool. Now we're going to have our 4th and 5th graders come up, and so they're going to fill in. I'm going to hand it back over to Becca and Olivia, and they're going to speak while I get just our strings back in their seats.
Great job, MSMP, and thanks for telling us more about your experience, Rachel. I knew when I first heard about MSMP, I knew right away that I wanted to join next year.
We'll look out for you in the MSMP band at next week's event. But right now we have our SMP 4th and 5th grade orchestra.
They will be playing 3 songs for you: Lightly Row, Can Can, and French Folk Song.
Alrighty, so cool thing, if you don't know, that when we start our instruments, we start them on all of the instruments. They can choose violin, viola, which is not an instrument a lot of students are able to start with, and also cello, and we do have bass that we also offer in the strings. Our 4th graders come to us. Most of them have had very, very little music in the public school, even in general music, where you just sing and clap and stuff like that. A lot of them don't even get that, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes every other week. So when they come to us and they get so much programming, 3 hours worth a week, it is a dramatic shift, and they are so wonderful at being able to learn and grow in such a short amount of time. The other thing that I wanted to take note of really quickly is the fact that the really cool thing about strings is that they make music by having wood instruments that have bridges and all that, and so sometimes we have to stall a little while we fix things that drop. And I think that at this time we're ready, and our 4th and 5th graders would like to present to you their first song that they have learned. It is a duet called Lightly Row. a little bit more complicated piece. This now is in 3 different parts instead of them just playing in unison or slight harmony as you heard in the last 2 songs. So this is the first song that we are going to play. You'll hear 3 distinct parts that is a little bit of counterpoint in there, and it's called French Folk Song.
Now we're going to take a little pause in all the music to hear from Moose Katane, a second-year SMP student from Bailey Gatzer, who's going to share a bit about her experience with SMP. But before we do, Becca, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your favorite memory from this past SMP year?
My favorite memory from SMP is learning the piece early on in the year. I like thinking about that time because I remember thinking it was such a hard piece to play. But I practiced a ton. My sister teased me about how I even practiced when I didn't have my flute with me. I just did air fingerings, so I could practice moving from one note to the next. Now on the Sazi, it's super easy for me to play. I'm really proud of how much progress I've made this year.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Becca. I'm really proud of all the progress you've made too. Now let's hear from Moose, who just might share some of her favorite things about SMP too.
Hello everybody, my name is Moose Katende. I am a 5th grader at Bailey Gatzer Elementary, and I play the saxophone in SMP. I first heard about SMP when they gave a big announcement to all the 4th and 5th graders at Bailey Gatzer. I signed up because in my family, my dad was a DJ and I wanted to continue that musical legacy. When I joined last year, I signed up to play the violin, but the violin wasn't really how it was. And so this year I tried to play the saxophone, and I think that saxophone was more like me. I do a lot of creative things like writing, singing, and dancing, and I believe that instrumental music is just one way to be creative. But something cool about SMP is a surefire way to make new friends. I would recommend SMP to anyone because it is a really fun program, and if you're in the program, there's no way you won't make friends. When you play music together with someone, all your differences go away, no matter what your differences are. You'll start to have something in common, and you'll always have something to talk about. That's the really cool thing about playing instrumental music together. I want to be a doctor when I grow up, but I want music to be a hobby for me all my life. I will probably play the saxophone and jazz band someday. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story, Liz. Now we'll turn it back over to Sally and our Advanced Orchestra, which will play one piece of its own, Jamaican Spice, and then be joined by the entire SMP Orchestra for March of the
our advanced orchestra is that it is second-year players that are in here. So please enjoy our small yet mighty Jamaican spice. And we have some percussionists that need to be joining us as well. I think we'll give them a second to set up, and then we will be ready. The last song the string orchestra has played for you is a cute little piece, and it's a little play on words, a little pun of March of the Metronome. Like a metronome is what goes back and forth and what we keep time in. So the timekeeper will be a wood block, and please enjoy our very last string piece of the night, March of the Metronome. things happen. Our string students are getting off the stage. Our band students should be going up the other stairs if they were in the correct order. And I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves at this time.
is by saying that we're going to have our voices off now. Good job, thanks. That's awesome. My name is Megan Leffrick, and I'm the program director for Seattle Music Partners. And a big chunk of my job is recruiting, training, and managing our volunteers. And our over 100 volunteers are what make SMP innovative as well as an essential service to our students. Our volunteers are responsible for the existence of our one-on-one program, so that they are how each student can have one-on-one lessons each week. And they're also responsible for supporting our teaching artists during our group lesson days. We also have a fabulous group of family members who help us out, especially during our larger events. We call those folks our family team. And those are folks who help us out in a lot of different ways at our community nights and events like this, as well as supporting their individual musician at home. So I would like to thank each and every volunteer who's here tonight. And if you are one of those volunteers that's here tonight, could you stand up so we can see who you are and give you a round of applause as a very small group. Without these volunteers, SMP wouldn't have the hands to build, the voice to advocate, or the heartbeat to thrive in the way that we do. So I'm going to hand the mic over to one of those volunteers, Cameron Cummings. Cameron's in his second year as a tutor with SMP, but it kind of feels like he's been here forever as part of the family. And he's going to tell you about his experience as a volunteer in SMP, and it'll be great.
Alright, hi. First off, I would like to thank the SMP staff for having me up here. And I'd also like to thank them for just the unbelievably rewarding experience that is tutoring for the program. I'll take you through a day of SMP for me, and along the way, I'll keep a tally of the ways in which the program benefits me personally. So, to start out, I carpool with 3 other tutors from my high school to Bailey Gadsden Elementary. And during that car ride, I get to talk to them. I get to ask them how their day was, make fun of them. So that's a bonding experience that I get. And upon arriving at Gadsden, I get to talk and laugh with students and tutors over cartons of milk and animal crackers at snack time. So that's another bonding experience. There's almost always a snack time performance where brave souls from the student group go in and perform in front of everybody. What I love about these is that they show us how the students progress throughout the year, from sometimes complete beginners to, like Scott said, capable musicians and confident performers. So that's a gratifying experience. After snack time comes my favorite part, the one-on-one lesson. As I walk with my student, Amy, to our lesson room, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what I can teach this time. I'm excited to see what I can learn. Amy teaches me as much as I teach her. I'm excited to see what new things we can accomplish as a team. What new things we can discover about ourselves as musicians and as people. I'm excited to spend time with my friend. Amy and I are very different people, but we communicate fine through the language of music. After the lesson ends, I say goodbye to Amy and head to group debriefing with the staff members and the other tutors. Oftentimes, there will be a lesson group discussion about social justice. With these, I learn things they don't teach in school. I get insight into situations and perspectives that I don't get at home. I come away better aware of the world and its people. So, I lost count of the ways it benefits me, but as you can tell, there's a lot. That's why I feel odd calling myself a volunteer tutor, because it implies that I would give up my time to provide something for someone else. And that's not what an afternoon with SMP feels like, because I'm provided with so much as a tutor. But as much as it doesn't feel like it, SMP is service. It serves an indescribably important cause, opening doorways to music where they would not have existed otherwise. And once you have an instrument in your hand, the music doesn't care who you are or where you come from. So to bring us back to where we started, thank you. Thank you, Amy, for the amazing lessons. Thank you, tutors, for being fun to hang out with and for making the program possible. Thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you to my parents. Most of all, thank you, Seattle Music Partners, for showing what the youth of Seattle has to offer the world of music and what the world of music has to offer them.
Thanks, Cameron and Nick. And now it's time for Becca and the rest of the SMP band to sit in the spotlight. The SMP band will be playing a collection of duets and a large ensemble piece called Let's Take a Break. Then we'll hear from Program Coordinator Brianna Robinson, who will have some special words for our fifth grade school.
We're going to take just a moment so we can tune the instruments, but it'll take less than a minute. If you couldn't tell, was the Itsy Bitsy Spider, the Eensy Weensy Spider. We learned that a lot of different places and a lot of different people from even across the United States sang that song with different words. So now we know. That was our first duet, and that had some harmony in it, which is what we learned. The next duet we're going to play for you is called Heroes March, and this is the time that we, the band, would like to dedicate, and the strings, dedicated to all the heroes out there that have served in the military, all of our other servers that are policemen, firemen, all those people that fight every day and protect us and give us the freedom that we have so we can have SMP. So big round of applause for all of those people. and it is by a very famous composer that you'll probably guess too. So if you haven't noticed yet, our band this year has a lot of percussion, which is fantastic, and because of that, we're able to do lots of different cool auxiliary percussion instruments. And as soon as they're ready, you're going to get to start hearing some of that. This next song expands from being a duet, which is just 2 parts, to 10 different parts going on at the exact same time. And that doesn't even include percussion with all of their various instruments. I think they have about 7 instruments they're going to play in this song, or 3 of them. So please enjoy it. Let's take a break. And please take a special note that it features each individual section as a soli, which we learned, right? SMP, we learned a soli means that it's one group of instruments. So the clarinets are going to play a solo. Our flutes are going to play the solo. So that, if it's more than one person, it's a soli.
and I have enjoyed my time getting to know all of you and your students. As I'm ready for the next step in my life, and life without SMP, I can't help but reflect on my growth as a musician and a teacher. Also, the growth of all the musicians in this room. I take pride in the hard work and progress of each student, and we here at SMP wanted to congratulate those taking their next step. Fifth graders, it has been a pleasure working with you and seeing you grow. I'm confident when I tell you that music can be everything you've ever wanted and more, and I only hope that you can continue. It is such a great accomplishment that you have made, so we have a little something for you to take home after the concert. And don't forget to come see me at the table dedicated to you, fifth graders. Also, we have some wonderful notes written to you, fifth graders, by members of MSMP, the middle school music project, congratulating you on taking your next step. As we near the end of the concert, I hope you feel the same sense of pride and growth as a musician as I do. Working with you all has forever changed my life, and I hope that it may have done the same for you. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the concert. Congratulations, fifth graders. You've already accomplished so much, and there is much more music ahead of you. Now we'll hear from the SMP Advanced Band, who will play Expressions in Blue.
So Expressions in Blue is going to feature a band up in waves, so they know who they're looking at. And some of these students started as a second-year player straight off, and some of them have moved up, and they just started this year on that instrument. And through about halfway through, they were like, "Can I audition to be an advanced band?" So they did. So that's pretty an amazing accomplishment for those of you, and you know who you are. So please enjoy our really cool advanced band piece called Expressions in Blue. Oh, and it does feature our percussion section that are sitting in for us because it needs percussion because they're cool.
Let's give all our musicians, band and orchestra alike, one more big round of applause.
It's been a pleasure playing for you tonight and being your MCs. We'll hand it over to Miss Sally one more time as the band prepares to play a crowd favorite. Let's Go Band, or as we like to call it, Let's Go SMP.
Thank you. Thank you once again for joining us this evening and for supporting the students of Seattle Music Partners.
So before we play the final piece, I'm just going to let you know who some of the other people are. We talked about the volunteers that we have, but we also have really amazing teaching artists that we do hire to help us, the staff members that we all are. And I'm not sure if every staff member was able to get introduced. So I also would like the staff members to come up here just so that you all know who we are. And then I'll have the teaching artist stand while we find our staff member that I don't see right now, so maybe you can help me out with that. Okay, so teaching artists, and we were one of our group teachers, please stand up. So these are the people that are not the individual volunteers, but they come in and have to teach the entire group of students on one day by themselves, usually. So if Lena and Christian and any other teaching artists that are out there, and Sonia, is here, and Marie's over there, and Laura, yeah, and anybody that I'm missing. So those are the great people. If you hear your students saying, if you hear your students talking about a specific Miss Marie or Miss Laura or Mr. Max, those are the group teachers that they're talking about. So thank you so much. And then as far as our other staff members, I know Mr. Scott, Miss Megan, Miss Brianna, and I have all introduced ourselves, and I don't recall Miss Evan ever being introduced, so I'm not sure where she's at right now. Oh, she's cutting the secret thing that I can only tell students. So Miss Evan is our community outreach director, and she has done such a wonderful job, and she's the one that organized the bus to get a lot of the families here. So make sure that when you see Miss Evan that you thank her for that as well. We're going to play Let's Go Band, and then I'll have some instructions after we're done playing. That was really cool. So to wrap it up, some final announcements. Okay, we're not collecting instruments, which is different from past years, so please make sure that they take everything with them. We can't leave anything in the hall here. And we will have final days of SMP. Tonight is not the very last night. We do not have SMP tomorrow at Bailey Gatzer. However, we do have it at the last day will be Monday at Lushai. So please make sure your students bring their instruments because I will be collecting them back on that day. Tuesday will be our last day at Lowell. Wednesday will be our last day at nowhere. Okay. Thursday will be our last day at Bailey Gatzer. Madrona will be Thursday, Tuesday. Madrona is Tuesday. Well, okay, we're doing split squad again. Okay, so Lowell and Madrona on Tuesday, last days. Bring your instruments because we need to turn them in so we can do inventory and clean them for the summer. Also, outside, this is an important announcement, when you walk out the halls into the main reception area, there's summer opportunities table, including signing up for our summer program, so please do that if you haven't already done that. While you're waiting for your students, I'm going to instruct the students right now, specifically string students, don't move until the band gets off the stage, and if I can have all of the adults help them get downstairs to put their instruments away, that would be great. Band, in 1 second, I'll let you guys go. If you are taking the bus back to Bailey Gatzert, I believe you need to report to Miss Brianna at the front doors at 8:25. Other than that, the rest of you can go hang out in our